The stupid rule. The stupid rule has stood me in very, very good stead. This is the minefield between Morocco and Mauritania. It's unmarked and you stick to the tracks for obvious reasons. The stupid rule I came up with when I travelled through Cambodia in 1996, amazing, just as it was opening up, backpack through, and we tried to go to Angkor Wat. And in those days there was no infrastructure, there was nowhere you could buy tickets. There were just basically some dodgy guards on the road to try and stop you going through, and then they would try and fleece you for loads and loads of money. And there was about 10 of us, and we hired mopeds and we shot out there. And half of the group got through, and we got stopped by these guards. Now, you know, I am all for making sure that you pay to go into places if you pay the right people and you know that money is going to go towards the upkeep of Angkor Wat or wherever it is. But at this stage, there was none of that, and they were just trying to fleece us. So we regrouped back, and I was sent forward to negotiate, and they wanted $100 each or something like that, and I negotiated. I got it down to like $15 or something like that. Went back and told the group, okay, we can go in for $15. And then a couple in the group said, no, guy at the hostel was saying, if you take that track off there and go around the side, you can bypass it and you can get in for free, and that'll work. And we were like, oh, okay, no, that'd be brilliant, let's do that. And he goes, but they did say something about a minefield, I think. There was something like that. I was like, oh, right. And I had this moment of, okay, what am I going to do? And I fast forwarded to imagining myself in hospital with no legs and some friends, family coming around and going, my God, what happened? And me going, well, I drove through a minefield to save myself $15. And thinking, you know, actually when I say that, that sounds a bit stupid. So the stupid rule for me is don't do anything that if it goes wrong, you're going to feel really stupid explaining to someone afterwards. And that has stood me in very good stead whenever I have to make a decision. And this is a classic. Well, I went for a pee. Yeah, I walked off the track and went behind the car for a wee. And, you know, the stupid rule, common sense is the most important skill, thing, attribute that you have. Use it, trust it. You're never going to know what the right thing is to do. You're always going to be in situations where, should I do this, and this? There is no right or wrong. You just have to go with your gut instinct. And we try and plan everything to the nth degree. I know I do this. I try and plan that. I think if I do this, I'll do that, and I'll do that. And sometimes just go with your gut instinct. With people is exactly the same as well. Go with your gut instinct when you meet people at borders. Normally ignore the first person who comes up to you wanting to be your friend. Hello, my friend, I'll help you, blah, 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 blah. Have a look round. You have these skills already there. And if it doesn't feel quite right, if you're bush camping, you've camped up somewhere, the locals invariably will come over and they'll be really nice and friendly. If it just doesn't feel quite right, pack up and move. Use that, listen to that. It's really, really important. You'll have the best laid plans. This is my favourite one. So when we did the flying car, we got to Bamako, we're on the way back, and some other members of the team were flying out. And so I'm in charge of the logistics, I've got to organise this. And so I found this great taxi driver, and I said to him, right, can you go to the airport and pick these guys up? And I had to do it on the phone in French, and I speak French of a thick 8-year-old. It's not very good French. So what I said to him on the phone was, and can you make a sign that says Sky Car Expedition? And he said, yeah, no problem. And this is what he came up with. And it was like, oh, it's not quite what I meant. And he was like very, very proudly showing it. And of course the guys came off and he was standing there with his sign and no one knew what that meant and blah, blah, blah. It goes wrong. That's part of the fun. And you'll make those plans and they'll fall apart. And that's really, really important. The whole guns and uniforms thing, you know, we here in Europe, especially in the UK, we're not used to seeing people standing on the side of the road with guns, waving them around. This is in Mali. In fact, we gave him a lift in the end. He wanted to lift somewhere else. Really nice guy. You will find them. It's a game. You come to borders, you come to police checks, think of this as a game. And the game goes, you drive up, soldier thinks, here we go, I'm going to get some money out of you, we'll demand something. The best policy is always to play the dumb tourist, which I'm really, really good at. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand you, I can't speak your language, I'm smiling a lot. I'm actually just a tourist and I'm trying to go here. A soldier policeman tries again, doesn't quite get through. Oh, you know, oh, I'd really like to help you. I've no idea what you're asking me for. I'm still smiling a lot. This is a game, and one or other is going to get bored of that game quite quickly. Normally then, they realise it's not going to work, and they let you go. So don't be too cowed or nervous or paranoid about dealing with, especially officialdom, police. Have a bit of confidence and just smile and think of it as a game. Don't just start chucking $100 bills out the window, which is what a lot of other people do, because of course the next car that comes along, the policeman's going to go, oh right, I know how this works, what I've got to do and I'll get this. So the whole guns and uniform thing and the whole scary thing, you know, oh, Africa's really, really scary. You know, London can be really, really scary if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Borders, you know, act like you know what you're doing. When you go to a border, they're weird places. If you're crossing borders, bus stations, airports, you know, the most dodgy part of any trip is the journey from the airport to your first hotel. So I would always try and book that first night, try and find out which of the registered taxis to take, because there are guys circling at airports and borders looking for the numpty who doesn't know what they're doing. So if you just have a few more skills, then they're not going to go for you. They'll go and try and find someone else. But a border is a classic one. Get out and look like you've been here a million times before, even if you haven't, even if your heart's going. You just play it very cool. You don't go with the first person who's coming over and showing you what to do. Your radar's on. You're looking, you're listening, you're seeing what other people are doing. There's normally a kind of holy trinity of borders, which is, you know, police, immigration and customs. And there'll be this really weird system about how it works. But you'll figure it out. But just act like you know what you're doing, because borders can be very unsettling places, and you'll feel yourself outside your comfort zone. But again, that's perfectly normal, and you shouldn't worry about it.